Hey everyone, hope you're doing great. Welcome back to a new video on our channel. In this video, we're going to review a new contender in the foldable smartphone market. Ever since the launch of Samsung's C-series in line of smartphones, people all over the world are going crazy over foldable phones. The fact that you can fold your phone screen and have a 2-in-1 multi-purpose tab plus phone experience is definitely exciting. We're witnessing a whole new generation of foldable phones, and many more phone manufacturing companies have taken the initiative to develop high-end foldable phones. Huawei is one of such companies, which is determined to stay on the cutting edge. Today, we'll be taking a detailed review of the second generation of Huawei Mate XS. But before we begin, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to our channel and tap that notification bell so that you're notified whenever our new video comes out. With that being said, let's dive in. Showing up a full 2 years after the previous launch, the Mate XS2 comes with several hardware tweaks. Huawei Mate XS2 is arguably one of the best in terms of its hardware. Huawei offers a bigger screen and a better aspect ratio than its market counterparts. In its folded state, it is literally the size of an average smartphone, which is certainly an advantage over the others. The phone now comes in with an outside fold compared to its first generation, which had an inside fold. As with all foldable phones, you might expect this to be pretty heavy, but it is relatively light and only weighs 255 grams. In addition to that, it feels lighter in hand due to its new falcon wing design. Huawei claimed it as ultra-light, ultra-flat, and super durable, and boy, they do deliver. With a rounded corners design on the display, the diagonal length of the unfolded screen is 7.8 inches, and the diagonal length of the folded screen is 6.5 inches when measured according to the standard rectangle. It provides an 8:7:1 aspect ratio. It also comes with thin bezels offering more display. The True Chroma OLED foldable display features 424 ppi, along with a high resolution of 2480 by 2200 pixels when unfolded and 2480 by 1176 pixels when folded, producing authentic colors and smooth visuals from end to end. That display now comes with a 120Hz refresh rate too, one-upping even the inner folding Mate X2's 90Hz. The screen's anti-reflection nano-optical layer keeps the view clear even in direct sunlight. The Mate XS2's stereo speakers get plenty loud and are smart enough to switch channels based on which way around you're holding the phone. The sound is a little thin, though, and the high ends tends to dominate the mix. It's fine for YouTube videos and spoken word podcasts, but isn't as impactful as a Galaxy Z Fold 4. Things have changed in the rear camera setup too. A 50-megapixel primary module similar to the P50 Pros replaces the 40-megapixel one on the old model, though the ultra-wide has been bumped down to 13 megapixels from the 16 megapixels on the XS. At the opposite end of the zoom range, the 3x-ish tele holds a notch more zoom power than what you can get on most foldables at present. On paper, the Mate XS2's 4 cameras seem solid. The rear camera module has a 50-megapixel main camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto. On the front is a 10.7-megapixel selfie camera. A chipset upgrade is also in place. We see last year's Snapdragon 888 in 4G only form. The US-China dispute that hit Huawei the most is still taking its toll. That also manifests itself in the Google-less software package, which remains one of the strongest arguments against getting a Huawei phone. For some people, they consider it to be on the pro side. You all know who we're referring to here, don't ya? The phone functions on an EMUI 12 operating system, which comes with a suite of new features: user interface UI design, animation effects, seamless device controller, and other important enhancements over EMUI 11. EMUI 12 design reflects the design scheme of the Harmony OS operating system. From UI to features, all have the same rhythm. EMUI 12 comes with the latest animations added to the UI reflecting the celestial objects moving in the universe, making the overall touch interaction more smoother and interactive. In terms of its performance, the EMUI 12 provides faster web pages and apps loading as you scroll. You can return to the page the next time you load it up. Even after a long term of use, the EMUI 12 ensures to provide optimum performance, operation response, and app startup as it was doing initially. Well, this one aspect where the Huawei Mate XS2 has failed to meet our expectations. Although it offers a 4500 mAh battery, it is relatively low for a smartphone in this segment. Unfortunately, it's not especially long-lasting, managing about 9 hours of video playback when folded and 8 hours when opened up. That puts it near the bottom of the table for foldable phones, and that means you'll be charging up before bedtime even with moderate use of bigger screen layout. There are typical value batteries and only wired charging is supported. 66 watt is the maximum charging power and so can only be reached with a dedicated 66 watt Huawei supercharged charger and cables are used. Naturally, it's beaten in benchmarks by 2022's most powerful phones. But there is still enough grunt here to run most day-to-day apps without any noticeable slowdown or lag. Everything opens quickly enough and it will happily run one app in a window on top of the other. Newer, more demanding apps might feel sluggish compared to rival flagships though, which is a bitter pill when paying so much for a phone. 8 GB of RAM is about the minimum you want for a device that'll be doing a lot of multitasking too. Unfolded, there are also a lot of pixels to push, so gaming will be a step behind as well. It can still play PUBG Mobile at high settings but isn't always able to deliver a frame rate high enough to take advantage of the high refresh rate screen. The gameplay is smooth enough, but expect performance to tail off as the device heats up. It performs better when folded, so demanding gamers should stick to the smaller screen and adapt to the screen size. The Huawei X2 has definitely taken it up a notch compared to its previous generations. The Mate X2 is a direct competitor to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, and it certainly edges out the Galaxy in a few areas. For one, the large screen spans 7.8 inches diagonally, with a PPI of 424. It's a high-resolution panel that has no noticeable crease, which was a problem that has plagued Galaxy Foldable since the very beginning. The Mate X2 is the form factor you would imagine a foldable to be and one that makes the most sense to most people. There's just a matter of the exposed plastic screen and Mate's supplied case is hardly an ideal solution. Some solution as it may be. Samsung's foldable are water resistant and this one isn't, so that's there too. You can see that the main concern remains durability. We would almost be inclined to live with it, however, if there weren't other issues, and the key among them is the lack of fully functional Google apps, and no app gallery or shady workarounds that can make up for that. Then there is the barely passable battery life. Though perhaps the fast charging compensates for that to some extent, the other smaller imperfections are easier to live with. The Mate X2 is not without its strong points. The design allows for a nearly creaseless display, which looks and feels much better than what the Samsung Folds have. In tablet form, the Mate X2 is a joy to use, and in smartphone mod, it can make you forget it as a foldable, because the size and weight are just right. And it's a properly capable camera phone too, but we have another deciding factor here. The cost of this foldable phone is pretty expensive, such that people might consider buying a phone from Samsung's S series or the Apple iPhone, having similar or lower prices perhaps for better performance and software. But if you're inclined to a foldable phone and performance is secondary without Google services, then this phone is definitely worth a shot. Well, with that, we've come to the end of a detailed review of the new Huawei Mate X2. Thank you for watching. Hope you found our video to be very informative. If you liked our content, support our work by giving a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned to our channel and we'll meet again soon with a new video. Until then, goodbye.